Hackster.io on Twitter and Instagram and stuff to see how that works. Anyway, I brought this thing, which is a particle photon-ified version of an Arduino project that I made with Mohib Zara recently. Let me pull it up actually. But the basic idea was to convert it to the particle system so that I could use it wirelessly. Let's get this on. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. So here's the write-up on Hackster. Here's a picture of Mohib. We actually soldered these, he soldered these string lights to some little jumper wires on the table of a fancy tea restaurant that we were at. And you'll be shocked to know that this is actually a plastic boba tea bottle, that you can get on Amazon, but we got it at a dessert restaurant earlier in the day. This is a fantastic, like, 1 weekend long hack that we had, and then it culminated in like a super late night programming session where I was doing like setting up the Muse stuff and he was doing the NodeBots programming at a friend's place in Brooklyn, and it was amazing, and I left at 5 a.m. and I was so tired but so happy. So basically I'm streaming brainwave data from my head here through my phone to my computer, and then from there I'm going to grab it with some JavaScript as an OSC signal and pipe it into this photon there, so that when it crosses a threshold, in this case we've set it at 0.4, then this will turn on. So basically I'll be able to like will the light to turn on and off. And although, you know, earlier on I was on a stage, so the like part of it didn't work super great because it's, you know, a brain focused thing, nonetheless I have got it worked okay. It worked better than I expected. And you can also see some videos here that are made not under duress. Especially the last one here I made this morning in my bedroom, and it really sort of shows you how the whole system works. I'm going to try and do a demo for you here as well. So this is a really basic circuit. It's on pin D7, which has the built-in LED for the photon, so you can test it really easily, but then once you actually connect your lights, then that stops activating. The code is on GitHub. It's under Mohib's account at VirgilVox, but it's got both versions. It's got index.js, which is the JavaScript that you run on your computer that communicates with an Arduino, and then indexparty.js. Of course, party is short for particle. We tried to get it working on the Adafruit Circuit Playground Express, but that was not going to be our friend. So we have Arduino and Particle versions right now. I'm going to show you how we start that up and actually run it. So right now, yeah, as I mentioned, I've got, let's pull this up. Okay. So, loaded on the particle photon, there's a script called Fermata that is listening for code commands sent over the serial console via JavaScript. And in the original Arduino form, you just send those over the USB serial console. However, for the photon, the cool thing is that I could unplug this from my computer completely and run it off of a power bank like I did on stage earlier, and it just gets the data over Wi-Fi. Regardless of that, it's incredibly fast to respond, which was an incredibly pleasant surprise for myself. Plus, you can run it despite the fact that like you've got the Muse connected to the phone via Bluetooth, and then the phone to the computer via Wi-Fi and to the photon. You can run both the computer and the photon, their communications, off of their phone's hotspot, meaning that this is a completely portable system that you can make wearable and stuff. So rad. So this is what my brainwaves are doing right now. And oh, we've got some recursion going on there with the reflections. And this is a quick look at the code. I'm just gonna launch this and then we can look at the code, okay? Alright, so basically to launch this, I've exported a couple of environment variables that tell this code where, you know, what device token or my auth token for particle, for my account credentials, and the device ID, which is pointing to this particular machine. And now I'm going to say node index. Oh, first I have to change the right, directory. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. And hopefully it will still remember the environment variables that I set, but I'm not the best at software stuff, so we'll see. Ah, good, great, yay! Okay, so now I have found the IP address of my computer on this same network. Oh no! Oh, it's just a timeout. Oh, thank goodness. Ah, okay, cool. So it's listening for data, and I haven't started sending the data yet. What I need to do is, having entered the IP address of my computer and the port 5000 that this is listening on, I need to actually push the streaming data button. And now it says that it's streaming to that IP. I'm gonna launch this script again. And come on. Come on, do the thing. What? No way. Oh, it's timing out connecting to the board itself. But it's breathing cyan. So I shouldn't have any timeouts. Huh. Though that's very strange. Kind of frustrating. I'm not super surprised that there's some kind of error, but I thought there was going to be a different error, if anything. Huh. Very strange. Anyway, let's take a look at the video from what it did earlier, because that was totally working. That's very strange. I wonder why it's suddenly throwing this timeout. Let's take a look at the code, and I'll show you the video of it working earlier. If we pull up the tutorial, you can see me sitting in my room, being all creepy, and oh, I don't know about full screen. I just want to open it in YouTube. Did I mention I've been at a conference all day? But here we go, the Thinker Blinker on YouTube. And basically you can see the data streaming there, and you can see when I put my hand over here, I'm starting to focus on the light bulb. But I also do a part later on where I don't move my hand at all, just so you can be sure that I'm not doing any gimmicky gestures or anything to fake this, because I don't think that's the point here. The point here is to do awesome science for real, and accept the failures and throw in errors that come along with it. Oh my. I wonder what the problem is with this timeout error. It's so weird. But you can see that multiple times in a row I'm able to get it to stay on for several seconds and stay off for several seconds with brainwave control. And that's the whole point. Anyway, code time. So, the way that this works is, in the original one, actually let's take a look at the original code that Mohib wrote, because that's cool too. Let me put this in the same little space here. Okay, so in the original one, the way that you hook up Johnny 5 to the Fermata sketch on the Arduino is that you say variable 5 equals require the library Johnny 5, which you have to have installed on your computer. It's a node module, in fact, and that's what talks to Fermata over serial. Then you tell it you've got a new board you're talking to, and you have to require OSC. That's what's receiving the data from your phone, from the Muse headset via your phone, and then you're going to be receiving OSC data. You give it 0.0.0.0, and that basically points to yourself, your computer's self. It's going oh, I'm looking here on my own port 5000 for the data coming in. And then when the board is ready, then you create a new LED. In this case, it was put on pin 4, and you open the port. You look for a message. When a message comes in, then you sort of pull it apart into its little component parts, and you look for one that says beta_absolute, and that's the beta frequency range that your brain is broadcasting, basically. And the beta frequency range usually corresponds basically to attention. So you're pulling out the beta absolute value, and you're going to basically check for the threshold to be over 0.29. And if so, then you turn on the light, and if not, then you turn it off. So I've modified this for particle. Partly I changed the threshold to 0.4 to be a little bit more challenging, or less challenging, honestly, because like turning it off is kind of challenging. But there's a little bit of extra stuff at the top where you're acquiring the Particle.io node module, and you also have to tell it to look for these environment variables to give to Johnny 5, where you're using your particle auth token and your device ID for the particular photon or whatever that you're talking to. Of course, there's now these new mesh boards, and I want to get a whole like mesh of robots responding to my brainwaves, so it's going to be amazing. And the rest of the code is just exactly the same. Oh, except for the LED being on D7, because that's the one on the photon that is built in. So you can easily test it. I want to try this once again, because I can't believe we're getting this timeout error. This has never happened to me before on here. And it's, you know, maybe it's the Wi-Fi network. But I can't obviously use my phone's hotspot for this because I'm streaming video, and that would be a disaster. So I'm gonna give this one more try and hope that we don't get a timeout. Please, please, come on. You're available, you're connected to Particle.io. The thing, the board is there. Everyone's here. It's a party. Come on, we can do this. Like, you can see that it's breathing. It's just so frustrating. But whatever, you can watch the videos on the tutorial and it'll work great. This is why we make videos in the tutorial before we try and do the live demo. Anyway, so that's what happens. I'm gonna suck it up, deal with it, stop streaming here, disconnect all the things, and be sad for a minute. But go check it out. There's some really cool videos. I would love to show it to you in person sometime if we run into each other at a thing. And I can't wait to build more things with this, because now we have Muse connected to NodeBots, and that is just incredibly powerful. JavaScript is really friendly. It's becoming much more popular for robotics, and I can't wait to see more stuff built with this, including my nefarious next few plans. Stay tuned. Check out the stuff from Particle Spectra. The new particle mesh boards just dropped today. The argon, xenon, and boron. We got in the bags. They got a bunch of free ones. I unfortunately got them too late because I was troubleshooting this, and it worked great on stage, but no bag for me. But we'll get one of those into the office soon so that we can show it off for you and help you understand how to get it working and stuff. Cheers to the Particle team. Congrats on an awesome launch. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you soon. Ciao.